patient, and I get really nervous when I talk to other people as well. I have ADD, so go with it. So what I really want to talk to you guys about today are goals. And so, just trying to give you a little bit of backstory about me. Everything for me, when I was growing up, everything is pretty easy. My mom always pushed me to read a lot, and so when I was a young kid, I was pretty much smarter than everybody, or at least thought I was. I was obsessed with dinosaurs. Like I could spell all these different dinosaur names, and I was like 5. And people were like, "You're so smart." I'm like, and so grades were pretty much a joke. I didn't really need to try for that. And then I was always pretty athletic. I mean, not now, but we'll get there. That's part of my thing. And so I'll just stick to the script because I'm already shaking. Yeah, so I was always pretty athletic, and so I didn't really have to try to just be good at things. And so I was really always content with the bare minimum. As long as I could do something, B's aren't bad. B's are good. And so why not just get B's? Because I don't have to try to get B's. And then I played soccer for pretty much almost my whole life. And I didn't really practice or stretch all the time. And so that really kind of bit me in the butt, because I really kind of started realizing that I could never really be truly successful. Because, once I get to college, you have to try, by the way, if you haven't been. It's hard. And so I would, kind of just struggle a little bit, and so I'd have to kind of teach myself how to have a good work ethic, because I was always just told that I was good at it, so I was like, okay, fine, well, who cares? And so also my natural, whatever amount that I possessed as an elementary school kid, obviously, all the people around me that were very good at sports because they put in the time and the effort and, the practice, they would get up early and do all that stuff, they would be passing me. And so I would always get kind of frustrated with myself because kind of hard on myself, and that would always kind of bum me out because I always was told that I was good at it, and I always thought that I was really good. So being passed by people was just not okay with me because I'm pretty competitive. And so there's a quote in the movie Dodgeball that I think kind of surmises this. I know it's kind of far, but it's kind of about goals. I never really needed to set a goal because, like I said before, I just thought I was always good at it. So I found that if I have a goal, I might not reach it. But if I don't, I'll never be disappointed. And I gotta tell you, it feels amazing. And that's how I always thought. I didn't have to really worry about it. But it really doesn't feel amazing, does it? I mean, it really sucks when you're sitting in that banquet hall and you're just hearing, oh, you got second place, oh, you got third place. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, I didn't try hard enough. And I totally could have been better than that person. They just put in that time and effort. And that's it kind of just sucks to not kind of excel in that way. And so I kind of realized that in reality that I didn't want to set a goal because I feared failing. I didn't want to get to that point and say, okay, well, if I don't get all A pluses, then, oh, well, I can't. Whatever. Well, I failed. I didn't do it. I'm not good enough. And I had a meeting when we were up in the Chicago conference with Revy Sutherland, the lady who's about to become the newest senior national consultant. And she mentioned that, failure is actually better than just being a stud the whole time. And the reason behind that is because it's not how well that you do at something. It's about how quickly and how efficiently you can teach others. And in this business, if you have already not figured that out yet, it's not about yourself. While we always, I know that I have goals that I want to hit. I want to, be my own boss and be the, main man. I know that there's no possible way that I can get to assistant management without the help of every single person in this room, and vice versa. I can teach you guys things, you can teach me things. And so, kind of going along with that, there aren't really any unrealistic goals. There are just unrealistic timelines. So that's kind of just something that she stressed to me, as well as John Wiggins, who's Latin status senior national consultant. And kind of just lost my train of thought there. But yeah, and so in that event, you're thinking about grades or something like that. Oh, I can't get all A's. Well, you can't get all A's in maybe one semester, but if you dedicate your work ethic to making sure you can do it this semester, and you roll that continued work on to the next semester, you can take care of it. And obviously that translates to the field as well. I'll tell you guys a little story about. So I played soccer up until a sophomore in high school, and I was all right. I was actually a really good goalie because it was the laziest position I had to run. And so I had a disagreement with one of my coaches, and I was not allowed to play soccer. And that was kind of like heart crushing for me. And so I decided, okay, well, I'll start swimming. Because, I swam, in the pool every summer when I was a kid. I figured I'll be really good at it. You don't have to, practice. And that was really hard for me because every day, our swim team is actually really legit. We had to wake up at 4 a.m. every day. We had to go in get in the pool in the middle of winter. We had 2 days every day. We had conditioning every day. So we had 2, wet land and then dry land. And it was just rough. It was hard. And I was like, okay, well, I got to actually, try now. This is kind of weird. And the way swimming works is, you have, your 8 lanes, something like that. The top people in varsity were, really studs. They swim the first 2 lanes, and obviously at a different pace than the people who are on the 7th and 8th lane. So I was in the 8th lane, if you could follow my trend here. And so I was I'm not really okay with this. I was always looking up at them and being like, they're not necessarily better than me. I'm taller than half of them. And it's whatever. And so all the kids in that lane with me, there's about 8 of us in the 7th and 8th lane. A lot of them had actually been there for 12 years. They had been swimming for that long. And I was like, why are you still here? What are you doing? Let's do this. So somehow I got elected to be captain of the JV, those 2 lanes. And so I really just kind of talked to my guys and was like, look, we're going to push each other. We're going to go out there and we're going to swim as hard as we can. Well, I'm going to show you guys how we're going to stretch right. I'm going to show you how we're going to just take those 2 last strokes before you get to the wall. And that actually was really cool because by the end of that 1 year, no training or anything like that. So I had trained all the way up to the end of the year. Every single person in that lane, we moved all the way up to lane 5, which is just ridiculous, how that shouldn't happen. And kind of looking back at that, I'm not trying to sit up here and say, oh, I'm such a good leader because I honestly don't necessarily think I should be the one standing up there or anything like that. But it's not about me helping them. I learned so much about that experience. I was able to. I was a backstroker, and there were a couple backstrokers on our team who were really solid. But because I was teaching them, I was also applying that to myself, and I actually just cut off a lot of time. I don't remember how much I cut off, but I was actually then the best backstroker on the JV team, and then I just moved up to varsity the next year because I just put in that effort and actually set those goals for myself. So I guess kind of where I'm going with this is, I am where I am now because I've set goals and pushed myself to thrive, and especially in this business, that's so essential to do. And so, my mentors, Ashley and Sells and Joe and Kaylin and Glenn, all of them have really pushed me the extra step by not only steering me in the right direction, but really pushing me outside of my comfort zone. And I use that kind of example back in swimming. I don't know about you guys, but waking up at 4 a.m. and jumping into a freezing cold pool every morning is awful. Physically, it's pushing yourself out of your comfort zone into a different one. But I knew that if I had to do that, I had to just go with it. So I trusted my coaches and that they would, kind of come through for me. And then I was successful. So it doesn't really matter if you think that you can do something, because none of your, your leader or, the managers, they're never going to push you to do something that they know that you can't do. Because we're not, failing really is just giving up. Failing is not, okay, I didn't get a close today. But what did you learn? Oh, well, I learned this much, so tomorrow I'm going to go out into the field, and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it rain. And kind of on top of that, though, it's not really about my this and his that and Kaylin's team and Sel's team and Ashley's office and Glenn's office, because the only way we can be successful is if we truly work together, because as iron sharpens iron, man also sharpens man. So I really think it's important that we all hold each other accountable to our own personal goals, and that way we can kind of set goals as an entire team, as an office, because that's what we are. Even though it's Ashley's office and Glenn's office, we are still here together, all in. And so what I'm going to do now is I've been reading this book. As you all know, I have a man crush on Matt Osborne. And at the Chicago conference, he said, it's called the 1 Minute Manager, so he kind of just told me to kind of look into it. And in here it says how to make a 1-minute goal, and there are 6 steps. So I'm just going to write up here. And as an office, what we're going to do right now is we're going to set a goal. And not as Ashley's office, not as Glenn's office, not as Bo's team or Nick's team. We're going to set it together. And I think what that should look like is that both of our offices should be in the top 5 in the power rankings. Because I went up to, my second week, I went up to Milwaukee, and that's, for those of you who don't know, that's Christy Dupree's office. She's the #1, has just like a whole bunch of awards up there. Literally, there's not enough room in her office for all of her trophies, so her assistant manager's office is just full of trophies, because she pushes herself. And the thing is I went up to that office and I was talking to people, and there are people up there, they're dumb. They're schmucks, like they're weird people. Some of them. You know, obviously a lot of them are like, sharp people, but it's like, if they can do it, why can't we? And it's because every single one of them, every person in the room, Andrew T, Zach, Ashley, Carrie, all of them, obviously not there, but like in here, we need to have the mentality that we are all contributing to our goals. And so we're going to I think we should set an office goal that both of our offices are going to be in the top 5, like, consistently. Because, I mean, like I said, there's no unrealistic goals, so we would ideally like to say 1, but there's 2 of our offices, so that's not really fair. But so in that way, if we're both in the top 5, I care about Zachariah's progression. I care about Drew's progression. I care about the TA's progression, as well as they care about mine. And as we grow as an office, we'll also grow individually, because we're going to be hitting the field with such intensity. Like, I know that I'm going to go out there and be like, you know what? I'm going to go out here and high roll, because I also know that what I learn, I can help Eve with something that she's working on. And so the 6 steps that I'm talking about. So the first thing we have to do is agree on our goals. So we'll agree on our goals. So we'll just say that we, as an office, our office is going to be both in the top 5 in the power rankings. So the second is to see what good behavior looks like. And the author, really explains good behavior as, not a result goal necessarily, but how are you going to do like action goals to get there, and don't focus on excuses or emotions, because emotions obviously don't really have a place. We don't like to make emotional decisions. So the third one is write out each of your goals on a single sheet of paper using less than 250 words. So I'm just writing this. Because the goal should be succinct. It should make sense. I should be able to explain, like when people walk into our office, I should be able to write this down on every single one of your bill presses. So you're out in the field and you're like, we're going to be top 5. Yeah, we are. So this customer's going to close for us because we're going to make it happen, because he's just going to get us to our goals. 4 is reread. Each goal, which requires only a minute or so each time you do it. So reread your goals. I'll just write them all out and then I'll talk about it. 5 is take a minute every once in a while out of your day to look at your performance. And then finally, see whether or not your behavior matches your goal. Because this is the big part about it, guys. If I stand up here and say all this and talk all high and mighty, and I send you guys out in the field, we all listen to levels, high five, get really super pumped up and head out there. But I come back and I'm like, yeah, I only like bill press like 2 out of my 16 DMs that I talked to. I just wasn't really feeling it today. Am I really being there for you guys? Is that like really stepping it up? No, it's really not. So I need to constantly evaluate at the end of every day when I get back from the field, did I get to this goal? Is my effort today worthy of a top 5 power rankings? Because it can be. Every person in this room can do it. Just follow the system. Be nice. Pretty simple. Don't overcomplicate it. And we can all do it. We can beat those weird people in Wisconsin because they like cheese too much. And so that's kind of all I really have. It's just like, I just wanted to leave you guys with the fact that, we are going to grow individually and get to our goals, but we just really need to help each other and kind of learn from our mistakes in that fact. So as long as we all hold out for each other and not really look at it like, oh, I can only help the guys on my team get promoted, because then you're just being selfish and only thinking about yourself. You're not even thinking about your own guys in that regard. So just kind of keep that in mind. So what time is it?
Showtime! Yeah!